Hi everyone, I hope you've all had a good week. I can't believe it's Friday again. The weeks just seem to go in so fast. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. I hope you've all had a good week, and I hope the weather's been kind. It's just quite cold here still, but it's been dry and bright, so that makes a difference. It's nice when it's dry and bright. I can handle that rather than the storm that we had a few weeks ago. So today I wanted to talk about self-worth today. I'm not talking about poetry. I want to talk about self-worth, and I want to pose the question to you what you think self-worth is, or what your self-worth is dependent on, or is it dependent on anything? And for me, the bottom line is that your self-worth has to come from yourself. It can't come from anyone else. If you don't know your own worth, then you're going to leave yourself wide open to getting used, getting abused, and everything else, which used to happen to me quite a lot when after I came out that relationship, because I didn't know my self-worth and I was stripped completely of my self-worth. To me, self-worth is having boundaries. For a start, you must have boundaries in place, and you must make those boundaries. You must state them with intent and not divert or deviate for anyone or anything. You must have boundaries in place, because if you don't have boundaries, as I say, people will just your self-worth is not dependent on any external circumstances. It's not defined by anyone, and it should never be. It's not dependent on how many followers you've got on here, how many subscribers. It's not dependent on numbers at all. You have to know within yourself your value and have the belief in yourself that you are worthy enough to ask and receive everything that you want, and you don't settle for any less than that. You don't settle for crumbs that fall from the table, because we are all deserving of what we desire. But you have to know your self-worth, and I'm not talking about having self-worth that you're conceited. That is arrogance. But you have to believe in yourself that you are good enough, that you are worthy enough, that you are capable enough of what you do, and you have to keep a very high moral code. That's just my personal perspective. I like to keep a high moral code. It's the way I was brought up. I like to say please, I like to say thank you, I like to show gratitude if someone is kind to me. by external circumstances and somebody saying to me that you're this or you're that. Yes, it's nice and I accept it with gratitude, but I am not dependent on that for my self-worth. You have to believe in yourself utterly and completely, and no matter what is said or done or written, you still have to maintain that balance of knowing your self-worth, because it is very easy. It is very, very easy. You know, for me it could be somebody giving me a crappy review on one of my books, and then instantly I would start to question whether my writing is good enough. You know, for a very long time I never thought that my writing was good enough, and I was always afraid. It is a daunting prospect when you send your any kind of creativity or, you know, creative endeavour out into the world, because you just never know how it's going to be accepted. You just never know. But you have to believe in your own abilities as a creator, and you have the courage to do that, and that's where the self-publishing comes in. You know, you have to you know, if someone was to turn around and say to you that they thought you were ugly, well, you know, that's just their personal perspective, and you can't change anyone's perspective on how they view you. You know, you will never change anyone's perspective on how they view you and how they want to treat you. But in the end, and this is the most important thing, in the end, you have to turn round and you have to say, that is on you. And I might have spoken about this before, when previously I might have, squint again with the OCD. I might have spoken about it when I was speaking about Brené Brown's book, which I'm trying to read, and I read to. Every time I try to read, I fall asleep at night. I think the book is, what is the book called? I don't know. I like Brené Brown. She's good. She's very inspiring. I might have spoken about it then. You know, you just have to maintain a balance. Oh, and I know it's very difficult. And if you are highly sensitive, like myself, but I am learning not to react, and I am learning that I can't change anyone's perspective of me, no matter what their perspective is. If they think my writing's crap, they think my writing's crap. If somebody thinks I'm ugly, hey ho, you know what I mean? One man's meat is another man's poison, and we're all ugly in someone's eyes. In fact, I did. I wrote a poem about ugly. I write a lot about different subjects. No one is ugly. No one is ugly, you know. It's all to do with perspective. and you will never change anyone's perspective, but you have to be secure enough in yourself to know your self-worth and to know that you are worthy of everything that you want and your heart desires. And that is the most important thing, because nobody is going to hand it to you on a plate, you know. No one is going to hand anything to you on a plate, I'm afraid, you know. They're not going to hand over anything to you. So you have to be secure in yourself and not let people, anything that's said, done, anything, knock the stuffing out of you and knock your self-confidence. And it has taken me a very, very long time to get to here. And I still have days where I think I'm not, but I am. I am. And it goes back to the video that I made at the beginning of the year where I said I was enough, and I am enough. I'm overqualified to be enough for the person that deserves me. And me having, as I say, I go back again, alopecia or the baggage that I still have, I'm still carrying, none of that should even come into the equation. It should not come into the equation, because this is who I am, and this is who I am, and I am enough. And I've already spoken about the tattoo that I've got on my arm. This is who I am, like it or not, and you can take it or you can leave it, you know what I mean? It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. At 58 in 3 months' time, I am too old to give a damn. Too old to give a damn. You know. So, you have to know your self-worth, but you have to, as I said, it's not dependent. The minute you put your self-worth into the hands of someone else, you have lost. You have lost. You have lost. You are worthless already. When you say to someone else, or you have to question them, you have to question them, and you have to say, oh, you know, no, you don't. You don't. You never do that. You never do that. You should never have to do that. You should never have to say to anybody, oh, do you think? Oh, do you think? Because you already know it. And if they don't know it, that's their loss. That is their loss. End of story. They have lost, not you. But don't lose yourself by trying to keep someone that doesn't value you as a person and does not see how important and how worthy you are. Okay? And I've ran on for 15 minutes because I'm good like that. It's yeah, it's about -1 here today. It's this winter, oh man, it's 89 days till I go away. Yeah, I can't wait. I hope you all have a good weekend, whatever you're doing. As always, thanks for being here. Thanks for liking, subscribing and watching. The subscribers, I had 155 and then I lost 2 again. Hey ho, hey ho. You know what I mean? Hey ho, that is the way the cookie crumbles. I am grateful for the people that are here, and I appreciate every single one of you. Until next time, as always, take good care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.